100%,
Yes.
100%. I think we do. I think that they're very helpful. I couldn't live without mine. My whole life is on there. I'm terrible with directions, so Google Maps helps me too. There's some real positive aspects to having a mobile, some really downsides as well. You've got, sort of social media, um, which is really not real life, and people thinking their life needs to be like that, which causes depression in young people. I could go on for hours, but there's positive and negatives for both.
Yeah, I can't agree anymore, to be honest. Especially kind of growing up with smartphones. Even now, my nieces and nephews, they have iPads literally by the age of like 3, 4 years old. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, they're glued to it all day long, and it's just become so dependent on it. So,
I didn't have that. I didn't have that when I was like at all. I did not have that. So I had to go out in the village. I couldn't even call my friends. I had to use the house phone. If they weren't in, that's it. I'd walk around their house. So in terms of like exercise, socializing face to face, I've been there and done that. Now kids these days can hide behind their phones, and I
mm.
think that's bad for the social aspect of life.
At the same time, to be fair, there's a lot of friends that say I grew up with at school, and through the internet, through kind of playing games online with them or staying in contact over social media like Instagram, Snapchat, I would have probably fallen out and not stayed in touch with them just because our lives get so busy. So it does, obviously, it
Yeah,
has its benefits, but at the
yeah.
same time, you're right with Instagram, a big one, I think. People can just troll and hide
And
behind the
it's not
phones.
real life, is it? Everyone posts the highs, never the lows. It's difficult, isn't it? Because you're at some point you let your children out of the house. I don't have children, so I don't know, but I can just imagine you let your children out, and you need to be in contact with them to know where
Mm.
they are. If they're late, if they get in trouble, if they're whatever it might be, I can understand why a parent would give a phone to their child. But really, probably 16, ideally, but realistically, it's going to be before they're 16. When they can leave the house without parental supervision is probably realistic when they're given a phone. I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Mm. See, I think my mum did it pretty well with me. I didn't get my first phone until I was 13, and it wasn't a smartphone. So it was more just, as you said, stay in contact with
Yeah,
her.
that's an option.
So, yeah, if it's not a smartphone, but who,
But then if
who
you're
these days doesn't buy a smartphone?
if
That's
you're a
the
kid at
issue.
school and you don't have a smartphone, all the other kids have
Get
one.
bullied for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's it's really
Catch
difficult.
22. I'd say, for me, I'd say, yeah, 13's a good age. Even if it is a smartphone, I think still kind of responsible enough.
Yeah.
Ooh. Um, Probably a bad thing. Depends what kind of apps we're talking about. If it is just your straight social media, so you've got a new one coming out pretty much every year at the moment. I mean, Snapchat's been around for a long time, Instagram. Um, the issue with it, if you start at a young age, you don't really fully understand what it means, and you can kind of just comment on people's posts, hide behind something. So that's complete negative. Um, yeah, have you got anything more to
Just in touch, if when you're talking apps, I mean that's really broad.
say?
So
Yeah.
it could be a game. A game's not too bad, although it takes you away from the social aspect of life. You see parents giving their kids games to play at restaurants rather than talking to other people. I guess it's a means to keep them calm throughout dinner, so the parents can enjoy dinner. I don't really agree with. I never had that. People before the 2000s never had that. So why do it now? Give them a
Mm-hmm.
puzzle to do. That's if I had children, that's what I would try and keep them away from a phone. But in terms of apps, I think social media is, unless you've lived a bit and you understand life a bit and you've been around like I did because I didn't have access to it, until I was 20 something. I think it's bad because it's just these youngsters are looking up to people who are showing them their tiny little snippets of life when they're on a yacht, when they're on holiday, and they think, well,
Yeah.
how are they
Give
getting this
such
money?
false
I want this money. Oh,
expectations.
this is real life. My life's not like that. And they get down, they get depressed. They don't want to go outside, causes mental health problems. That's what I think is bad. But there are positives to it in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how regulated it is, but I know that if 84% of if under
It's like
14-year-olds have seen or
97%.
that have
Yeah.
seen porn, then absolutely.
Parents need to do more, I think.
Yeah, but then it's hard, isn't it? Like, how can you stop apart from putting blocks on their phone, which I'm sure you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think with certain social media apps, you should absolutely, there should be minimum age.
In terms of adults, it's difficult because if you're in an industry like we are, you're speaking to your doctors. I speak to my colleagues, and the office is big. Like, speak to my colleagues across the office, or if they're working from home, I need to look at my phone. Yeah, you occasionally go on social media now and again if you've got a notification, but you need it to communicate. So it's difficult to stop someone or put restrictions on it in the workplace, in my opinion, depending on what job you've got.
Yeah, I think definitely with children, it should be restricted on how long they get to use it. Um, Especially, I think YouTube's a huge one as well. Kids literally spend all day on YouTube. And the issue with it is it literally can go from video to video, so you don't even know what they're going to end up watching. It's just based on the algorithm. So that's dangerous as it is. For adults, I think personally for me, when I get home, I don't really use my phone as much than I do kind of throughout the day. I'm like James, I use maps all the time.
Yeah,
Terrible with directions. Even if I've been there like 10 times, I still don't know where I'm
same.
going. And yeah, at work, it's with doctors, it's really useful for work at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And when I'm home, you can kind of do the same things. I guess it's still internet though. I use kind of YouTube, Netflix.
I'm bad.
my
I'm bad
TV.
on. I'm saying this is bad, but I'm bad on my phone. I'm not going to lie. I think the majority of people I know are bad on their phone. I look at it too much. There's too many apps, too many things, too many notifications, too many group chats, work, whatever it might be. You've got your
It's
emails.
an
You've got your
addiction.
life on your
It's
phone.
an
So
addiction.
it is an addiction. Yeah, it is. I'm not saying that I'm not bad because I am. Just I think it's willpower. Get out in the world more. Restrict yourself from using your phone. Go out, like when I go out and play golf, that's genuinely my escape for 4 hours. I don't look at my phone unless I'm taking a picture of something nice or whatever, but or logging my score. But that's my downtime. I literally do not look at my phone. I have it on silent. And I'm just out with a couple of mates walking through the countryside playing golf. So that's what I do to escape life and the phone.
I think more recently in my life, I've had a lot more time to kind of go out and see friends a lot more. So yeah, when I'm going to play pool, going to play football and stuff like that, yeah, I never really have to touch my phone.
But if you're on a night out like me, I always take pictures and post it to social media because you want people to see that you're doing something, you're having fun. You know, that's just natural to want to post the good bits on social media. And that's what I'm bad for. Like, oh, James has posted 19 stories. Everyone expects me to post stories every day because, you know,
To be honest,
just
I
people
like
do.
your stories.
There we go. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't personally. I
Okay.
don't actually post too much on it on social media, and I don't really take many photos. I don't know why. Just me
I do.
personally.
I do. I probably just like photography. Who knows? But yeah, I'm definitely addicted to Instagram, especially.